today I thought that I would do a kind of pink, pretty like clown makeup. I know that the whole Pennywise thing is like really done at the moment because the movie came out. Excuse me, I'm still really sick. 1 second. However, I thought that it would be cool. I bought this ages ago and I intended to use it for like all sorts of like ice cream tutorials and things like that, and like as like a fancy dress thing obviously. And I still might do some sort of unicorny something. So I thought that I would do like a Pennywise style makeup today that was more like girly, so a little bit more pretty, but I will probably show you some contact lenses at the end that can really sort of creep up your pretty kind of look. Again, this is quite a last minute one. You don't need face paint. Let's get to it. I started with a clean face. I've just wiped off the makeup that I had on today, so there is still a little bit of mascara on there. I'm going to go in with the shade adjusting drops from the Body Shop. You can just use your normal foundation. If you've got face paint, mix it in with that, make it paler, make you paler than you normally are sort of face wise. These are really cool. Obviously this is going to give you a white face. So what I would say is don't worry about being really perfect. If you've got acne and stuff that you want to cover up, then obviously you can conceal and do all that kind of stuff with your, I would use your normal foundation. But if like me you've got fairly good skin, also it's meant to be kind of like, it's supposed to be, it's pretty but still like creepy, do you know what I mean? Then don't bother. Maybe also don't wear a wig that you've placed on there perfectly while you're doing this, because then it will be more difficult to reach all of the places around the fringe. But you know what I'm like I know that this will end up looking really cool, but you guys also know that I'm not probably the best instruction giver on the planet. But I hope that you kind of like my more chatty, less professional, more human approach, because this is probably everything that sort of happens to me. I drop things, I do all that kind of stuff. It's likely to happen to you while you're trying to get this makeup done anyway, because we're all human and we all fuck up. So my mum sees this, she'll kill me for swearing, but I am a swearer, and you know. Right, the next thing that I'm going to do, you can see this is kind of patchy. I want it to look less perfect and more worn in. You can make this prettier if you really want to, but I don't want to. Also, I would maybe find a wig that doesn't have a fringe, but we're gonna see what we can do with this. So inspired by Pennywise probably won't look like that in the end. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set that using a big Sigma fluffy brush, and I'm going in with White Lies from Makeup Geek. You can use your translucent powder if you prefer. I just think that this is going to sort of hold the white better, and therefore that is kind of my preference. Don't worry if it kind of looks powdery, that's kind of the point. Ta-da! Can't believe I'm saying this. I'm going in with a bright pink, almost like neon, and I'm going to put this into my brows. This is actually a lip liner. If you can find a gel liner that is pink, or you have an eyeshadow and some MAC mixing medium to turn it into an eyeliner, then of course go ahead and do that. This is a random really cheap one from Amazon, and it doesn't, well, it's Persistant by Qibest, like it's a really, like it's not like a known brand, if that makes sense. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to go over the top with, I'm going to do a mixture of this middle shade in this Sleek Blush by 3 palette, and I'm also going to use Passionate by MAC, and I'm just going to powder over the top to keep that in place, and also because my eyebrows are quite thick, just to cover some of the darkness, I'm using an angled brush by Eco Tools. Once you have completed your crazy AF eyebrows, I've done them like a little bit more thicker and like more blocky than I would normally, because it's meant to look like a little bit odd and a bit creeps. I've then primed my eye with MAC's soft ochre paint pot. You can use like whatever primer you have, but obviously this is just going to help the shadow to stay. I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush and that same white colour. I'm just going to pop this all over the lid and up to the eyebrow, just to give us like a nice base to blend with. Then I'm going to go in with that Blush by 3 centre colour. I love this. Pink is amazeballs. And we're going to take that through the crease and sort of flick it out towards the edge. Also going to take this sort of underneath the eye as well. I'm trying to make this really easy for you by not using like so many brushes. Also, don't worry, it does not have to be like perfectly blended and all that kind of stuff. Kind of do want like a semi-worn in kind of look. Using that same eyeliner, lip liner, sorry, I'm going to draw on my nose. And we're just going to fill that in as well. I think if you're using a particularly bright shade of pink and you're not using sort of like a cream or more of a liquid product, like if you've got a gel liner or something in this colour, you could also use lipstick if you really wanted to. Then you will need to powder over the top to set it, and also to add some like more colour into that. So I'm taking that same shade that we've been using the whole time and I'm popping that over the top just to set it. I bet this is going to stain. I didn't even think about this. Just be aware that anything that is super bright, like anything blue, red, pink, sometimes purple, I find does tend to stain. So just be aware of that and have a good foundation ready to cover that shit up the next morning. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take one of these darker colours, probably this one, and I'm just going to go around the edge of my nose, just to give it more of like a defined edge, because I think it will look better. Yeah, much better. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm probably only going to do it on one side. Or am I? I don't know. Let's find out. What I'm also going to do, I'm going to take that angled brush and that same colour and I'm just going to go along the lash line a little bit. On the bottom. Just to kind of give that some dimension. As you can see, I am kind of winging it, but this is what I mean. Use what you have around you in your makeup bag, and I'm sure you can find something really cool. If you wanted to do like blue or something instead, then do that. So again, going back to that same eyeliner, I'm going to outline my lips, and I'm also going to do the creepy clown line things. So I've also gone in and just filled that in. It's just going to make your lips last longer. I'm then going to go in with my favourite colour of the moment, which is Candy Yum Yum by MAC. This never comes out unless it's like summer or I'm doing some sort of funky tutorial. And then we're going back to our eyeliner and we're just going to draw in the creepy clown lines. So you kind of want to take it from the sort of the centre of your eye-ish. Then I'm going in with that same colour that we've been using the whole time, and I'm going to pop this over the top. You don't really want like proper lines. Then again with this, I'm going to go in with some of that dark shade. And I'm going to pop this around the edges just to add like a little bit of shadow into these. I'm also going to do the same on the top. And again, set it with that pink shadow. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Swish by MAC and I'm just going to place that right in the inner corner of the eye, just to give like a really nice pop. I'm using quite a lot of it and quite a big brush for this area, because I really want to see it. You can use like a champagne colour. I like this because it's got that sort of pink duochrome look. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to take my dual fibre brush and I'm going to take, you guessed it, that middle colour again. And we're just going to pop this on the cheeks. Do you want quite a strong contour, so I'm going to mix in a little bit of that darker colour. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that Swish colour and I'm actually going to pop this over my lips. And again, I'm going to take some of this darker colour and I'm going to pop that around the outside. Then I'm going to add a little bit of mascara. I'm using the Push Up Angel by Maybelline. And that is the finished look. I will just show you what it looks like with some contacts in. Obviously, if you're not used to them, don't bother, because they're not like the most comfortable sometimes. But yeah. So this is what it looks like with creepy white contacts in. There are loads of places you can get contact lenses from. Obviously always buy from like a supplier that's a really good one. I've had these a little while, I can't remember where they're from. I've ditched the box. But yes, if you're going to do contacts, do them properly. Obviously these are your eyes, do not be fucking around with them, blah 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 blah. Be safe. Halloween is fun, but be safe. So this is what it looks like. Obviously, even without contacts in, it's quite creepy. But it's also cute. Like, this is more creepy. Obviously, if you've got like liquid lips and stuff, do some blood out the side or something. Do you know what I mean? This is a good kind of midpoint where if you've got a lot of pink or you've got a lot of red or you've got a lot of like blue or like one colour products, you can create something really cool and a little bit girly and a bit more fun. But if you then want to go further, you can add things like contacts or like use ketchup and stuff and like dry it out and pat it into the skin and make it like bloody and a bit more like gross and not cute. So here's another last minute Halloween idea. This took me about 25 minutes, including the wig, which by the way is really cheap, horrible, nasty one from Amazon. It was about £9. Perfect. Like, that's your cheap Halloween. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye.